listening to the Combat Jack Show podcast. I'm your host, Combat Jack. Let's just jump into it. King, what's up, man?
I'm good, brother.
Yeah? What's happening in the world this week, man?
Yo.
Hold on, before we jump into contemporary issues, man, shout out to Adam22 and Leonard. That was a great episode.
Yes.
And before that, what was the episode before, man? Was it
Steve Lobel?
Steve Lobel.
Yep.
Shout out to Steve Lobel. And before that was the Game is a Game episode.
Game is a Game.
Internet, I'm kind of losing my mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, and King and I have had some conversations off air about like how we're just being a lot more open in front of these hot mics. How do you feel about that, King? Like
sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah, and I don't want to give them too much because I don't want to get in trouble.
But how's the reviews been? Like, how
the
people,
reviews are awesome. They
like,
love it. They
yeah.
love that banter. They love when you are not in character.
I mean, you know? I'm not in character,
You're not in character,
but I am in character.
But they want to know, man. They, remember, we started out the show 7 years ago.
Yes.
It was none of this shit. No interviews. We didn't know how to get.
Wait. Are we now the longest running?
It's the Real is still going. If you want to.
But it's the.
I mean, Juan Epstein is still rocking.
Yes. That's true. Shout out to Juan Epstein.
Yeah.
Shout out to my homie Rosenberg and Cypher Sound. Shout out to Jeff and Eric. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Combat Jack Show, man. We've been holding y'all down for 7 summers, y'all. If y'all haven't listened, because I got a lot of listeners that listen to the Combat Jack Show, and y'all don't know shit about Mogul, The Life and Death of Chris Lighty, which is the most serious project that we've ever worked on. Please, like fuck with the Combat Jack Show. Go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts, rate, subscribe, and comment. But please, like, this is a big undertaking. It took us over a year and a half to talk about The Life and Death of Chris Lighty. It's the best work out there. We were ranked the #2 podcast out of over 350,000 podcasts on Apple Podcasts.
Clap it up.
We're coming towards the end of the year. I guarantee you we're going to be on a lot of, top 10, best podcasts of 2017. Like, fuck with us, man, because season 2 is coming. And it's going to be bigger and better. And, just fuck with us, man. So, man. So, this is kind of like a different phase that we're going through. We're still going to do, amazing interviews with legends. We got a legend in the building right now. Yep. But at the same time, you're going to get a lot more of us, man, in your ear, man. Or you know what I'm saying? So, rock with us, man. What we got to talk about? ESPN. Listen, ESPN.
I'm so disappointed.
ESPN, listen. Like, I understand y'all got to cover your ass. I've worked in corporate America, worked in Viacom, I've worked at Citigroup. I understand when something goes out, or when y'all feel, quote unquote, that somebody that works for you goes rogue, y'all have to kind of like corral the horses and shit like that. But this is a very fucking pivotal time, man. Like shout out to the sister Jamel Hill. Jamel Hill's been on the show. Very, very, very talented woman. Yep. Very talented individual, man. Like, she brings so much light to ESPN. Y'all motherfuckers knew what y'all were doing when y'all decided to make ESPN more diverse and more inclusive. Shout out to Bomani. Shout out to Michael Smith. Shout out to all these people that bring Stephen A. Smith. Shout out to all these people, man, that bring so much flavor and context and diversity and differences of opinions on that platform. We live in an age, man. Like, I hate when I see like comments talking about leave politics out of sports. But how the fuck can you leave politics out of sports when sports has always been steeped in politics? Like, we're talking about Jack Johnson. We're talking about, like fucking when baseball excluded, the colors. Like, it's always been steeped in politics. So how is it now that we finally have prominent voices that you motherfuckers, I'm not talking to you ESPN, but the supporters of ESPN that say this is just sports. Like, that shit, like, it's only sports when we talk. Get the fuck out of here. ESPN, I'm very disappointed in you. We're at this very pivotal time. I don't think that Jamel said anything that wasn't factual. If you look at the man's actions, the man has supported or has been very silent and quiet about, racist organizations in this country. For you to silence her, what I'm saying? For you to try to silence her and try to say that, her actions were inappropriate, how dare you? How the fuck dare you? And now we're getting like a report that the White House wants her to be fired. Like, ESPN, if you fire fucking Jamel Hill, we fucking
That's
dare
gonna
you.
be a problem.
You thought that Colin Kaepernick fucking changed or shook shit up with his protest? We'll protest you. Don't fucking do this, man. Don't fucking do this. Either you're with us or you're against us.
I think a lot of people were quietly not pleased that SC6 even was created.
I mean, a lot of people weren't.
At that time slot, prime time, 6 o'clock daily. You got 2 melanated individuals you know, Michael Smith, Jamel Hill.
Very contemporary, very well rounded.
Yeah, very
I'm
progressive.
saying very steeped in the sport. I mean, their knowledge of sports is unparalleled, as well as their knowledge and appreciation of pop culture and everything that constitutes pop culture. That's why you brought them there. Like, I understand that change is difficult, and ESPN, like, you are, you know, there's a portion of you guys that are used to being like the old boys network, but shit is changing, man. So are you with the change or are you against it? Don't do that to us, man. Don't do that to America. If like you really care about this shit, like speak out against the injustices that you see that's very clear. So fuck that ESPN. Combat, this is nobody else in the room. Me, Reggie Yosei, Combat Jack, I fucking dare you to fire Jamel. I fucking dare you. Let's go. Is that too heavy?
It's a lot, man.
Yo, shout out to Tito's. Shout out to Tito's in the building. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just finished it's been 10 years since I've been working on my dragon sleeve on my arm. I just left a 3-hour tattoo session, man, and that shit had me in shock. So I had to go to the Tito's. Tito's is always there for me, like on my loneliest, coldest. No, I'm not getting the no. Listen, on my coldest, loneliest nights, Tito's has been there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like right now that I'm in pain and shock and we got this legend in the building, Tito's is here for me, just kind of like calming my nerves. When you're in shock, man, you can't really flow fluidly. King, you know that?
Dude, I don't, that's intense.
It is very intense.
But I think once you get to that point, you might as well do the other arm now.
No, fuck that.
Get like a kiss tattoo on your neck.
No, I'm still on the fence. I'm still a conservative cat in that aspect. So the neck tattoos, I'm not with that. Listen, anything else, man? Shout out to Rode Microphone, the best microphone for anybody in the podcasting industry. Yeah. Shout out to them for supporting the Combat Jack Show.
Yes. And in Atlanta, in October, we'll be in Atlanta for A3C.
Oh, A3C. How many years has it been since we've been carrying A3C?
5.
5 years? No, I'm saying like listen, man. We like 5 years.
Talk about it.
5 years ago when we went to A3C.
What up, Mike?
Like shout out to Mike. Shout out to everybody that supported us
Ryan,
at A3C.
what up, man?
Shout out Ryan. Like we brought amazing talent.
2 Chainz.
We bought 2 Chainz.
Maceo
from De La Soul.
Yes.
Bun B.
Killer Mike.
Drama. DJ Drama.
The mayor of Cape Town.
The mayor
South
of like
Africa.
yes. Patricia
DeLeo, right?
Like the mayor of Cape Town. Like we have done
Zaytoven.
We've done like the Bad Boy producer, like Roundtable, the entire Bad Boy production. Hitman. Like, we've been doing a lot for A3C, and I want to say, like, I'm so appreciative that in 2017, like, no shots, like, this is, like, y'all are really, like, extending so much hospitality to us.
Yes.
Like, I can't wait to come down. We have the best time. I think my favorite time throughout the entire year is Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and A3C.
Yes, for sure.
No, you know what I'm saying? No order, you know, in no particular order, but I can't wait till we touch down in A3C. This year we're having a one-on-one. With legendary Steve Rifkin. I'm saying who's changed the game.
Yes. And we doing our first rap show.
We have a rap show.
Yeah. Can't announce the guests yet because
we can't.
Next week we can announce the headline.
Is it Fly God on? Is Fly God on the? Is Fly God?
Allegedly.
Fly God
in the machine.
In the machine? Yo, Buffalo, what up, man?
So you know,
I love them niggas, man. Them niggas is you know what I'm saying? I'm an old dude, man. Nothing really excites me in hip hop anymore.
Dude.
I still love the culture, but them dudes. Yo, man, you up on West Side Gun and Conway?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, shout to Shady Records.
Shout to Shady Records.
And then, you know, we kind of extended some of this stuff to the loudspeaker. You know, Adam is going to be out to interview A-Track.
Adam 22.
Yes.
Man.
No Jumper.
Yeah, No Jumper.
Angela Rye.
Yes.
She's out there.
Wait. I saw something in the gossip section.
I didn't hear that.
Common, motherfucker.
That dude
like Common, like you've been on the show. I love you, man. What the fuck?
The glow.
You got the glow, man. You know, ever since you walked out that Badu box, nigga.
His roster is amazing. Serena or Venus, I can't remember.
Serena, what's Serena?
Erica.
Who else? Angela. I mean, listen, Common, man. Your glow is amazing, man. Continue, yo. Black Lives Matter, Common. Black Lives Matter.
Yo, well, one thing for certain, he get all the woke chicks though. The super woke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that conversation in the crib must be like, you know, sharp as
heated. Like I wonder which one is calling the other one. Like you ain't really about this, nigga. You ain't about this revolution, nigga. Yo, Angela Rye, what up, man?
Yeah.
Like her show it's been a beacon on the Loudspeakers Network.
Yep.
Continue doing your thing, man. We welcome you.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my best moments was interviewing you on the show, and I love what you're doing in this podcast space. And what you're doing for social justice, man. You know what I'm saying? Continue doing it. Can we go?
Oh, and shout out to our boy Ja. He just announced that he's on the Ed Lover Morning Show.
Ja from Bossa?
Yes.
He's officially on radio?
Yes.
Damn.
With Ed Lover and Moni Love.
Yo, shout out to Ja, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ja, man. Salutes, man. Can't wait to link up with you when we hit A3C in Atlanta.
Yes.
You know, today's guest, man, like, you know, I've said this before. This is his second time on the podcast. I've interviewed him several times, but like, you know, this man, particularly to me, like, I think he's like one of the greatest that's ever touched this genre of hip hop. He's taken it beyond just like, you know what I'm saying, to like, you know what I'm saying, opening it up to, pardon me, to the diaspora.
He got a one-on-one Gucci shoes on right now.
Yeah, he got a one-on-one. Those are one-on-one, man?
We don't play.
We don't play, man.
And in Creole, we said, no, I joué.
Man. But I remember back in the day, man, like just being a little bit older, man, growing up in Brooklyn in the 70s and the 80s, man, like, you know what I'm saying, talk about persecution. Talk about a witch hunt. You know what I'm saying? It was not cool to be Haitian American, particularly in New York City or the tri-state area. You know, like the coolest cats were Jamaican. So cats would test us, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what's up, you Jamaican? I would never jump on the Jamaican like ticket. Probably, nah, man, what I want? You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of like fake it. But when this cat and his collective dropped in the mid-90s, man, like, it really opened up the doors, man. We're not that far away from this past Labor Day, man. And, like, one of the most dominant forces, you know, on Eastern Parkway every year now has been the Haitian presence, man. And I can't thank this man and his collective, you know, enough for what they've done, you know what I'm saying, for the Haitian spirit. And what they've done for me individually, man, just to really, like, do full circle in terms of, like, self-pride, self-love, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's welcome to the Combat Jack Show, the Haitian Elvis. That's, you know what I'm saying? The one and only Mr. Wyclef Jean.
Sac Fet. Everybody be like Sac Passe. We got to shift them now.
Yo, Sac
Give him
Fet.
that Sac Fet was really good.
Yo, Clef, man, what's up, man?
Man, listen, slow motion. We just getting back from Germany.
Okay.
So
what was going on in Germany, man?
You know, we back at it again on the beat. The Carnival 3.
Carnival 3, man. It's out now, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Will came with me, you know, one of my boys from the label.
Yes, sir.
And I guess, like, he never moved, like, with me internationally. So it was just crazy to see, you know, the love for the Germans, for the Haitians.
Right.
I think he even was overwhelmed. You know what I mean?
Will, how was it, man?
It was fucking crazy, man.
It was crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even imagine traveling, and I'm doing you short, man, because not only are you one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time, but you're one of the greatest international artists of all time. I can't even imagine, well, how it is traveling with this crazy Haitian man, man.
Yeah.
What did he introduce you to, man? Like, what's the most unique thing? And just speak up because you don't have a mic in front of you, or grab King's mic. What's the most unique thing that Wyclef introduced you to, man?
Walking in the club VIP style. So we went through the back door, down like a stairwell, through like the bar, through like another hallway, through another area into this private
Through the kitchen,
vehicle.
you seen shit frying?
Yeah, pretty much.
You gotta go through the kitchen.
Gotta go through the kitchen.
Gotta go through the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
They had this private VIP room, and you couldn't really see anything in the back. It was crazy. They let you smoke in there and all that kind of stuff. So we was turning up. It was dope.
Yo, Clef, man, congratulations on the Carnival 3, man.
Thank you.
One of my
feels good.
The Carnival, I always say this. I'm not trying to be controversial. I've said this on Twitter. I've said this on the Combat Jack Show. People want to crucify me, but then I test them to go compare albums, and it's not fair to compare the albums. It's not fair. But then again, it is fair because of the history. I played in 2017 the Miseducation, and I played Carnival, and I feel in 2017. That the Carnival is a much more superior album that withstood the test of time. Now people are like, yo, Combat, listen, shut the fuck up and play both albums back to back.
I think it's a matter of the comparison probably wasn't. They both fit.
No,
in the
I think it's really sauce, right? It depends on what sauce you like, right?
Pesto or tomato?
Yeah. Hot sauce, pickles.
Pickles.
So for me though, it's funny because. Like, coming in the game, man, I was like 15, 16 years old. And I tell people, it's funny because they had me on Unsung the other day. They did a whole thing, and one of the people that talked was Curtis Blow.
Right.
And Curtis Blow was like, yeah, I met this young kid, you know, he was rapping in like 5 languages, and he was barely 15 years old. I came from Haiti when I was 10, though.
Right.
By the time I was 15, I met Curtis Blow, just to show you how the hustle of the Haitian was moving. So for me, the Fugees was always a futuristic thing, right? Because when we was coming in, we was rhyming and we was singing.
Yes.
And we was playing instruments. We looked like aliens to everybody. Like, think about it. So we would be opening up for Biggie, everyone you could think of. They'd be like, yo, man, trust me, you don't want to play. This group is not no ordinary group. But just for me, like, so I understand when we put Carnival and Miseducation, like I said, it's two different sources. It all depends on, like, the source and the relevancy. And today in 2017, it's like everything that we was talking about with the whole refugee thing and that whole idea of, like, the policies, all of that. If you pay close attention to the Carnival, Pablo Diablo, it's almost like, to me, like that whole policy music, like, now you go back and you listen to the Carnival with the world that you in today, you're going to hear something totally different.
Yeah, you know? And I'm sure you would say that also, man, because some people assume that Miseducation is shots at you, too.
Well, I mean, just think about this,
yes,
right?
Sir.
For me, I always say, damn, they be giving Clef too much credit, right? But for me, I grew up listening to, like, Marvin Gaye, Prince, and different people. So what they say you don't kiss and tell, but the stories is already the stories.
Right.
And I never take back the talk, right? At the end of the day, when I was 19, I was 18, I was 20, I was 21, you know, with my Wallabies and my skinny jeans and my Gazelles, I was the wrong one to romp with, you know? Original player. So if you look at the Mac cover, that's who I thought I was. But I think, like, if you look through my career, the idea of evolution is what's important. So, like, you know, you have the Miseducation. Then you have Someone Please Call 911. So it's so funny, right? All of this music, right? I call it truth music, right? It's hard to get rid of the Fugees, right?
You cannot get rid of the Fugees.
It's like...
That's blasphemy. That's fake news, man.
Yo, I remember being in the hood, right? This was me in the hood. So I was that dude in the hood. You got a problem with your girl. You know, I'm talking about the biggest killers, man. They got a problem with their girl. Yo, Bridget, I sing a line for my girl, you know. And then they put on the cassette. And now I got to be the one that sings that line.
Yo, what would you sing? Like say, for example...
So you know how, example, like 911, Someone Please Call 911. So it'd be like schemes like that, but you would be directing it to the girl. So there was always something, and they'd be like, yo, end it with the sound. And I'd be like, eh. They'd be like, all right, we good.
That was one of your hustles? You was like the fucking rap Cyrano the Bergerac? Like, you was fucking,
man, I had the blend tapes. I was straight up, yo, you have a problem with your girl. You know, and then, so think about it. So when you hear records like Two Wrongs or 911 or Gone to November, I just sing relationships, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So it gets me in trouble sometimes, right? But the truth has to be said. Because when we look back at records, like whether if it's Marvin Gaye or Stevie, we be like, oh, we see what they was going through when they wrote that.
Definitely Marvin Gaye, man. Definitely Stevie too, man. Carnival 3, man. This is your first solo complete album in 8 years.
Yeah, it felt great.
8 is a very magical number, man. Why 8 years?
I ain't even planned it like this.
Right.
Because the Carnivals was every 10 years. And this is actually the third Carnival. So this is the trilogy. This is the finished chapter.
So is this is it? No more Carnival?
This is it for Carnival.
No Carnival 18, my nigga?
No. This Carnival, this last Carnival 2017 it had to be done because the kids that are producing on this Carnival were 12 years old when the Carnival came out. Right. So like
which is interestingly enough the same age as your daughter, right?
That's right. Right. So the kids that are like Super Mario that did the record Wyclef Jean, that young thug named after me, or the records for Drake, or crews like the Knox, they come in the studio like, yo, Unc, you know, we trying to, you know, we trying to recreate Staying Alive, but different. So it was so amazing to see these young kids coming in with their favorite joint from the Carnival. And so that frequency was built. I remember like being in the studio with Michael Jackson. And one of the things I learned from Michael Jackson. That's just
casually, just, you know, hey, man.
Right, the MJ. But one of the things I learned from MJ.
I was in the studio with Michael, you know, Jackson. You know him?
Yeah, we was in the studio with MJ. But the funny thing is,
how the fuck was that, P?
What was crazy about it was,
how you not intimidated?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what.
You're from fucking Haiti, man. You used to eat dirt.
Yeah.
How you not? I mean, that's factual, right?
Yeah.
Red dirt, right?
Yeah, I
minerals
ate red dirt, mineral dirt. But dig, right? You have to understand. So for me, this is what makes us solid. Like, you know what I mean? To come from nothing and turn it into something. So by the time I got to Marlboro Hill Projects in Coney Island, in Brooklyn, one television, right, that, you know, your dad would control with the hanger as the antenna. So
white knob or black?
White.
Ooh, it's official.
You see what I'm saying? And then the hot tracks used to come on. And hot tracks used to come on. So for me,
Carlos de Jesus was
facts.
Dude, I was on an episode of that shit.
Yo, that's
I was on.
crazy,
That's how
yo.
old I was on an episode.
Yo,
in Justine's. It was one of them clubs in Hell's Kitchen. I was in there and they were filming, and I, like, you know, back then,
Of course.
you saw yourself on TV
Of
on
course,
Hot
that was
Tracks.
the That was the original YouTube, man. That was the original YouTube.
Yeah. So anyway, man.
So nah, for me watching that and like then seeing Michael Jackson, right, first time on MTV, and I was always like the dude who's doing the music for him. So, and this is something like people don't know, right? So, by the time I was 15, we did an off-Broadway play, right? Where, and this is not, most people don't talk about this, right? So we're going to get it out here. So we were inspired by Shakespeare. There's a play, Shakespeare, which is called The Twelfth Night. And then Twelfth Night got characters like, you know, Olivia, Sebastian, and all of that. Yo, we did an off-Broadway musical where we took Shakespeare and we put it in a hip-hop form. Man,
who's we? Like, who put that together?
Man, what was crazy about it, my man who does Sleep No More created the play.
Okay.
But Wyclef was in the play. Lisa Carson was in the play. MC Light was in the play.
Damn.
Lauren Hill was in the play. Darren, who choreographs, who became the biggest choreographer for NSYNC, all of this came from this play. So I remember seeing Quincy Jones. And I just went up
in
to
the
him.
audience.
Yeah, because he came to see the play
Right.
at that time. And I was like, yo, I said, Q, I'm going to see you one day. And he was like, yo, you just getting started.
Right.
Yo, I'm 15. I don't even know. So for me, so
How was
now
your English back then?
fast track.
Was your English
No,
fucked up?
I don't speak English too well. You understand? Hey, Quincy
Okay, what
Jones,
you
how you
doing?
doing? Hey, Quincy, my name Wyclef Jean. I come from Kwadebuket. You know,
Kwadebuket.
I do music like you. I hear it in my head and I record it. You know? So for me, fast forward, being in the studio with MJ was insane, because one of the things that I love was when Quincy and Michael Jackson got together in the studio, there was a frequency that was created. That could have been only with them two, because Q was from that jazz background. He had that understanding. So fast forward 2017.
Hancock and Miles and all of that, man.
Fast forward 2017. In high school, all my awards is from jazz. I'm a crazy jazz major. So for me to be a jazz major and now getting in the studio with Super Mario, the Knox and all of that, put those two frequencies together. So for me, this is different because it sounds like 1997 meets 2017.
Right.
And you could hear the sonic.
Right.
So that's what makes this exciting for me, you know?
You know, one of the things that I really appreciated in the past year and a half, man, was, you know, this enigma, you know, and it's not necessarily an enigma to the young cats, but to some of the older cats. A lot of cats are really, really, really still on the fence about Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? But when I pressed play on his last album, on Jeffrey, and I've said this a lot in public, when I pressed play on Jeffrey, all I heard was Wyclef Jean influences. Is that factual?
Yeah, well, once again, right?
Like, did he study you?
Young Thug did the mixtape on the 5 people that most influenced him, right? The same way I was influenced by Marley. There's stuff that Thugger played me in the studio no one
You
heard
talking about
yet.
Marley Marl or Bob Marley?
No, by Bob Marley.
Right.
Yo, listen, there's stuff that Thugger played me in the studio with him that the human ear has not heard yet. Where I'd be like, yo, I could see the Wyclef frequency.
It's
so
obvious.
I saw that with his first records.
Right.
Like, I can get that because I'm a melody dude.
Right.
So when I hear like Young Thug or Fetty Wap or Future, there's these melodies that they come in and I can relate to that, because for me, that's all like the Carnival. So of course it's a natural influence, but it works both ways. Because when I'm watching this and I'm seeing how they doing, and I'm like, hold up, their cadence is different. What kind of cadence? Now I learned their cadence. Well, you see what I'm saying? Now it makes me double dangerous.
Right.
Because I understand the trap cadence, and then I'm from the 90s. So for me, it's always a learning curve, but I think both generations should constantly learn from each other. It's important.
You know, from somebody growing up in Haiti, man, how does it feel in 2017 clearly hearing your influence in hip-hop, in a form of hip-hop that, from our generation, a lot of us can't still wrap our hands or head around?
family, man, all I could do is say, man, before me there was Macazole, there was Haitian Jack, there was Jimmy Henchman,
Shout
there
out
was
to
Shaq
Jimmy.
Kim.
Yes, sir.
There was
Shaq
all
Kim,
of them. So
right.
at the end of the day, when I hear a kid going Zoe Pound, for example, and I was in the
Herbie.
on the
Shout out to
phone-
Herbie too, man.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Shout
Let's
out to
not
Herbie.
forget Herbie
Lovebug,
the original. Herbie Lovebug, Sakafet.
Sakafet, monsieur.
So way before me, Kango UTFO.
Yes, sir.
So for me, just being like that young blood, I was just like, yo, at the end of the day, watching Snoop and Dr. Dre and how proud they was of where they was from, I said, I'm going to make where we come from, and everybody going to be proud of where we come from, because we come from that fly place.
But where you get the audacity, man? Because you moved here, like, I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I'm Haitian American, but you are a fucking immigrant. You came here with the fucking crazy accent. Like, who gave you the fucking audacity
I'm not gonna lie
to
to
fucking represent Haiti, my dude?
I'm not going to even lie to you, Combat. It was going to either be that, or I was going to be the most infamous gangster you ever seen. I was really there on top of the roof in Marlboro Projects. I couldn't speak English. I looked at my brother. My mom was on welfare. We looked at our both in the eye. I said in Creole,
Yeah.
translation, what are we doing here, man? What you going to be? He
What
looked
you
at me and said,
about,
ben, I'm galon avocat. He said, yo, I'm going to be a lawyer. I said, ben, ma bon gangster. I said, I'm going to be a gangster. Parce que where my mom vive comme ça. I can't see my mama living like that. So for me, at the end of the day, I say this story and it's real. When I say my mom took a gun out of my hand and replaced it with a guitar,
Right.
it ain't just words.
Right.
I'm saying, like, for real. So at the end of the day, I just felt like if I got saved like that, when they went for my cousin on Erasmus, and if he caught the bullet and he not here, I just felt like I was here for a greater purpose.
Right.
And for me, so it's like it's bigger than that. It's like the idea of will, the idea of wanting to do, right? You got two people. People who say they do and people who do. And if you really do, that means you're going to get tested, right? So for me, it's like before my name, I told you many names. So I remember being with Macazole. When people talk about Zopound, man, we in Miami, and I used to do the Carnival every year, an event. That's the first time I had Usher speaking Creole, and then the rumors started spreading.
Right,
about
he's not-
Usher
he's
that
not
he was
Haitian?
Haitian. Nah,
He's not
I
Haitian.
started that rumor.
You enhanced and fucked his life up at the same time.
Yeah, so what I did was,
That
I
shit
said, yo,
still
he was
lives.
going out in Carnival. And keep in mind, this like when this young Usher, this Usher that be pop locking and grabbing that guitar with the one chair.
Sitting on Puffy's car hood and
Yeah,
shit.
with that one chair.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Ush going out, and Ush like, yo, what could I say? I said, yo, when you get out there, tell him sak pase na boule. And so keep in mind, it's like, what, 10, 15 years ago, dudes Usher out of nowhere start speaking Creole. Then they was like, yo, that dude Usher's Haitian. But Macazole was in the crowd with me. And Macazole, we chilling in the back. And Mac was like, yo, you know, it's my dream just to see this Zoe movement in music form. And so to me,
That's a big dream. Like, and I'm not trying to exclude anybody that's not from the Haitian lineage, but somebody that grew up in the church, like waiting for a day when we would be represented. That's huge.
yeah. And he said it. So when I'm on FaceTime with Kodak Black, and I'm speaking to Kodak Black mama, and she gets on, and she's like, oh, get up, when are you coming to see us? It's like, so for me, at the end of the day, I feel like the work that we was supposed to do, the idea of like putting that flag up at the Grammys when nobody knew that it was, I feel like that it wasn't in vain, and that was part of what I was supposed to do, you know?
Yo, I'm very curious, man. Who was Wyclef Jean in Haiti? 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Who the fuck were you, man?
Yo, in Haiti, the village that we live in, we don't have much, right? So I was the leader of the town, right? I had to create things for the kids. So I was very creative. So for example, we had a scheme called I'm Going to America. So whenever I see the kids get real sad, you know what I mean, and we lack of food, this is something I create, right? So we going to America. We basically lived in a town with a cemetery, right? So what I do is I bring the donkey up, And on the donkey, there'd be like 20 kids, you know, they'd be sad. And I'd be like, okay, we going to America today. Who going to America? They'd be like, okay, Wyclef, you going to America. I get on the donkey. And as I'm leaving, they all telling me what they want from America. And the donkey literally goes around the exactly. The donkey goes around the cemetery and come back. And the excitement and the joy now in these kids' faces, they like, yo, you know what I mean? So we playing, okay, what did you want? Yo, you know, I wanted a bicycle. I'm giving them an invisible bicycle. At the time, this is the most amazing bicycle. So for me as a youth, I always remember being a leader. But what was crazy was the one time that I played I'm Going to America and I ain't come back around that cemetery.
You didn't come back with the donkey?
You feel me?
Whose donkey was it, man?
That was my aunt's donkey.
Okay, so you brought the donkey back home?
No, funny, like years later when I bring my wife back all to the village and my great aunt like, yo, where's the donkey? And my girl is like, yo, that ain't the same donkey, is it? I said, no, that'd be impossible. That donkey done died a long time ago.
Yo, Clef, you come here, man, and you hear the horror stories, you know. First of all, man, shout out to you, particularly in the times that we live in right now, man. Like you know, you exemplify what immigration is. American immigration is. Like, we all have our dreams. We all displace and lose everything and come here and start from scratch. And then we create and we add to richness, the richness that is American culture. You get here. It's cold, man. You're fucking by Coney Island. It's even colder. Like I know shit was hard in Haiti, but when you get here, you're like, did we fuck up? This is New York.
You hit that snow. I don't think people know the reality of what it's like to see snow for the first time.
And you get happy until you realize this shit is freezing.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't front. I saw opportunity. I was different. Like when I came, I went to a store called Jack's in Brooklyn. And it's the first thing, I didn't know what the word Jeepers was. I didn't even know what that was. And my dad brings me to Jack's department store. And it's an area with sneakers. And he's like, yo, get 20 pairs of sneakers. And I'm looking, and it goes $199. I look at my brother, I say, yo, man, daddy's rich. Like, we getting like sneakers at $200 a pop. He told me to get 20. So I get every color you could think of. Red, green, yellow, all type of sneakers. And yo, man, I go find school, the girl, I look, I say, yo, what sneakers are that? That a Jeepers, $1.99.
Oh,
you feel me? So the Jeepers was $1.99. But where I come from, bro, my one shoe I had to wear for the whole year. So that's why I was saying, I just saw opportunity.
Yo, God bless you though, man, because my cousins would come from Haiti, and they didn't even have sneakers. We'd be playing fucking soccer, and niggas would kick me in the shins with church shoes.
Oh, yeah.
After a couple of kicks, I'm like, I'm not fucking with you. Y'all can keep the soccer. Like,
MMA
like, no, the niggas, like, they had shorts and whatever type of fake athletic gear and fucking church shoes.
Oh, yeah.
That shit will body your shins, dude.
Yeah, dudes play soccer anyway.
Right.
In any form.
But what was the culture shock like, man? When you start living in the hood and you start seeing who's moving things in the hood, who's getting moved, like how hard your parents have to work. What does that do for you, man?
Man, it shifts you quick.
Right.
The culture shock shifts you, you know what I mean? Like, it was real. I'd say to get from one building to the third building, you're going to be part of a gang.
Right.
Like, there's no way you're going to make it to that third building. And you have to get your stripes immediately.
Right.
And I'm the oldest, you feel me? So that means I got to slap box early. I got to know how to...
Fuck that.
It's so funny, the other day...
Fuck that.
The other day, someone saw... I was shooting in one of my videos. I think there's footage of this. I was shooting in Germany, like 5 videos in line in Puerto Rico. And so I told my man, bring me a blade. And I took the blade and I put the blade in my mouth. And I flipped the blade around in my tongue, under my tongue. And my man was like, yo, man, what the hell? Like, where? I said, dude, when I tell y'all I'm from the grimiest area that you could ever think about, I said, God done lift me up. But I could have been a little hood rat.
Right.
The idea of survival and you being the oldest, right? Because if they mess with your brothers and your sisters, you got to show up, right? And now when you show up, if you the smallest dude looking like Pookie from New Jack, you got to have different ways. So for me, I always think of the idea of like,
what was your different way?
how the
like,
hell like I could be alive?
Yeah, because you're not the biggest cat. Like, how would you fucking make your presence felt?
Fam, you could ask Beast, who was one of my most lethal securities from Brooklyn, and Beast will tell you one of his guards that was 7'1" I took down, right?
What the how?
Man,
Dude,
listen,
he's flipping razors in his mouth. Gem stars
listen,
and
listen,
shit.
and you can interview Beast, right? So this is one of the things, right? All right, let me give you one of my Jews, right? So when I was with the Fugees in like 1918, and we was touring like on a tour bus.
Should be
right?
1918.
Like when I was like 19.
Okay. Oh, when you was okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You know, going on 20.
We doing
And
time,
then we on this
we doing
tour
Haitian
bus.
time
you know?
travel right now.
We on this
Tito's.
we on Tito's. We on. Oh yeah, let me get another shot of that Tito's,
Yo,
man.
Tito's,
That
yes.
Tito's is serious, man.
It's official.
Listen, man. Yo, tout le monde capte de la Wyclef, ma bon Tito's. No one one babankou kon boy, but this is proper.
Shout out to
It's not-
Baba Crew, man.
I understood that.
5 étoiles, man.
You're saying it's not Babacool,
Yeah.
but
It's 5-star.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
So here's factual check.
Right.
So I've always loved the martial arts in all different forms,
I mean,
right?
Bruce Lee, my
Kung
nigga.
Fu Joe in the hood,
Yeah.
for real. So one of the things in the tour bus I was obsessed with before UFC, and none of that exists. It used to come on a VCR. It was the Gracie family, and the Gracie
the brothers, right?
Ah.
Motherfuckers was undefeated, and they would take motherfuckers down.
And how
clean.
little were they?
Clean.
How little were
Clean.
they?
They would not get punched.
That's right. And how
They would
little
just
were
like they would climb on you like a fucking virus
There
and
you
take
go.
your shit down.
There you go. You got cleft. There
Right.
you go.
So you was like,
I love mixed martial arts. I love grappling. I love all of that.
where'd
So,
you learn that shit?
From a young age? You know what I mean?
Like where? You in Coney Island projects?
I know, but you grow up past Coney Island, you go to Jersey. In Jersey, you constantly coming back to New York. There's a few senseis in different schools, like where you're trying to adapt and to figure out. So martial arts and gymnastics, I love.
Right.
So naturally adapting to that, you form a way of defending yourself just naturally. And I think from there, and I ain't gonna lie, right? Do I know about tools? Like yeah, like people was like, I remember when the Fugees was coming on, they was like, y'all ain't gonna survive because it's all about gangster rap.
And y'all niggas to the outside eye, y'all niggas is soft. Y'all niggas is dancing, boom, buff.
Yeah, they was
boof,
like, yo,
buff.
yeah, they was like, yo, you dudes is soft. Like, this is not what it's about. Like, we about this gangster thing. But I was like, hold up. I'm from the projects like you. Now, I'm probably the most lethalest one out of all of y'all. Because I'm the usual suspect.
Right.
That means that I'm going to mastermind a plan. So I could come up to you and act like I'm a punk just to shank you.
Right.
So at the end of the day, this was how we did the score. So when someone hear ready or not, and they start to hear now that I escape, sleep, walk, or wake, those who can relate know the world ain't cake, jail bars ain't gonna get, they start saying, oh, yo, these kids must be for real. So we constantly had to find ourselves, constantly proving ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which was crazy.
Yo, what was the craziest shit that you've been involved in when you were like, oh, this is it. I can't do this shit no more. I really got to put my life in this guitar.
And to what?
Into this guitar, the guitar.
Man, yo, real talk. All right. So real talk, you know what I'm saying? Like gone to November, you know what I'm saying? I get a pack. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
And I gotta bring the money back. You
Right.
feel me? And I lose. However it goes down, the pack
You
does
lost
not
92
come in my
bricks?
hand, right?
You lost 92 bricks,
Right,
got it all back?
The pack don't come in my hand. Now I got to go back to my cousins, right? And all I remember was, the funniest thing was like, dudes ain't even like, we glad you alive, you ain't get killed. Dudes like, yo, quit bailing! Quit bailing over! Where the shit at? Like, you like, yo.
How hard was it for you, man, to go from 0 to 60 in the music industry? You know what I'm saying? Being one of the, you know, like the least likely to like being like the most successful. And at the same time letting go of some of your gangster tendencies. Because I remember reading something years ago about, you know, it's the Fugees. We're doing an interview with Clef, and he's holding me at fucking gunpoint. And I'm like, Clef from the Fugees? How hard was it to like reacclimate yourself?
You them a call Khan by Jack. You already know the true Wyclef, man. Yo, it's so
was
funny.
Kevin Powell allegedly or some shit like that? He's like, yo,
look,
I was sitting here and Wyclef has a gun to my chest.
Statue of limitations. Is
Allegedly. All of this is allegedly.
You know what's funny about what you said is, like I said, at the end of the day, we were young, right? And it's so funny because You know what?
Shout out to Kevin Powell, man.
Yo, I'm just trying to envision this shit, bro.
Yo, listen, man.
Whoa.
If Kevin Powell is listening, man,
Boom, boom, boom.
I just want you to know nothing but love and respect for you, fam.
I'm sorry, like this.
I'm not admitting anything. I'm just
allegedly.
saying, yo, but I'm just saying it's nothing but love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say Quincy Jones gave me the call.
What do you say?
Put me in check.
Because that's right. It's a Vibe magazine.
Q always puts you in check.
Allegedly.
Like Q is just a man. Like Quincy, at the end of the day, is just a culture.
Right.
And he just has a way where he talks to us.
What do you say to you?
And I mean, you just don't mess it up. You
Like,
know what I mean?
what
Like,
you doing, man? Like,
like
hey, brother.
you know,
Hey,
and
Wyclef.
Q, you're not more gangster than Quincy,
Right.
because they really from the era,
Yeah.
like from the real.
Niggas had to carry
juice
switchblades
joint.
in their
You feel
church
me? Like
socks.
yeah, like dudes got the trumpet, you know, and the little 22 inside of the trumpet case. Like you
And
know,
had access to hitmen.
you feel.
Allegedly. Yo, wait. Allegedly with the whole Kevin, did you put the hammer on the table? Like you said, and then he just knew he couldn't leave the room for whatever reason?
No, man. All I could do is, honestly, like I told y'all, at the end of the day, when dude was like, what audacity do you have? All I could do is tell you, like, Malcolm X for real. Like, not in the words, the play words. You see, that's that same energy that made me know I could become president of Haiti. And that's that energy that made everyone scared of me and say, yo, if he come from that certain DNA, he really ain't gonna put up with that shit.
Yeah, how glad
And
are you that you didn't become president of Haiti, my dude? How glad? Come on, my dude, for real. Politics, Haiti, come nigga, for real. Wyclef, how glad are you? Come on.
Now listen.
You listen. You dream those dreams. You shot
But
for
bigger
the
than
fucking
dream
moon.
than
But
dream.
like, my nigga,
I'll let
your
you-
life has been so much better without politics and this shit.
So
Leave that shit to another fucking politician like Sweet Mickey, man.
I feel you. So you asked a deep question. So I was reading Martin Luther King, right, his book, and then I look up to Harry Belafonte. So you gotta have these mentors.
Right.
So before I went in, I sat with Harry, and I was like, Harry Belafonte, this is what I'm thinking about doing. He told me everything that was gonna happen. I also
You
remember
get shot down, you're gonna get.
I remember having FaceTime with Nelson Mandela. Fam, 101 with Mandela.
What is that like? Is that like out of body? Like, what is that like?
It was out of body, right? Because
Like, brother, this is what you would be expecting.
yeah, this is out of body, right? Because I just had a question, and my question was like, yo, how do you find it in yourself, like, really to forgive? Because really, with Nelson, like, he set up these courts where basically a murderer, you could talk to the person's family you murdered and try to, you know what I mean?
Negotiate?
And, yeah, that's right. Yeah. He had these courts where basically the oppressor could talk to the oppressed. So for me,
And work it out and then be like, let's
but at
walk
the end
out
of the
and
day,
get a
I
latte.
just wanted to understand this man, because this man is respected by everybody, and like no one could say one thing bad about this dude.
Right.
At the end of the day, so it's just like spending that little time with him. He just showed me like it was more about love than hate. It was more about peace than war, and I think like that helped me really understand it. At the end of the day, I had to make a decision, right? We all gonna make this split decision in our lives, and we seen it in our career. Some has made the decision and they're locked up right now as we talking. That has been big superstars. You know, like we like, yo, dude had 3 records, he was about to be a monster. So Q just reminded me like, yo, don't really fuck this up, just focus on what you have to do, you know?
Getting back to my question, man, aren't you glad you didn't become president of Haiti, my dude? Like that, yo, my man's deflection game is superb.
Yes, no, to your point.
Yeah.
So
And I know, like, I understand. You read Martin, you spoke to Nelson, forgiveness, like, you really going hard with, like,
So,
dude, like,
yeah, but
there's
listen
nothing
to this,
harder than being a
Combat.
president,
Listen
and there's
to
nothing
this,
harder
Combat.
than being a president of a quote-unquote
Yeah.
third world country
But I'll tell you something.
that's had
though.
continuous unrest and also outside influence to, like, inspire the unrest. My nigga.
So, once again, we don't do it because it's easy.
Right.
We do it because it's hard.
Yeah.
And what that means
Some
is...
hardships we don't need
right,
in our
and
lives.
but listen, there's a man who sits there at NASA and says, yo, I'm going to take a man to the moon. It ain't easy,
No,
right?
not at all.
At the end of the day, what was my overall mission, right? Because, so let's say...
It's your
So let me
motherland.
tell you that the overall mission of what made me run, right? This interview would have been so irrelevant if I didn't run, right?
Of course.
Because at the end of the day, I saw
Can't believe this nigga ran for president.
I saw 250,000 of my people under the rubble.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, at the time where I saw 250,000 people under my rubble, in my country, I'm a leader. I didn't see no president at the time.
Yes.
I felt like we was completely absent. So all of the youth that looked up to me, you know what I mean, the majority of the generation, I felt like it was time to step up. Now, whether I was gonna win or not, that wasn't my concern. My main concern was to break the cycle.
Yes.
I felt like before I came in the race, we had an old regime that was basically controlling the country. And I felt like, look, at the end of the day, I'd rather young people make mistakes than older people. And
Play
what
the
that
same
means,
shenanigans.
yeah, so I felt like it should have been a mixture. So when you like, yo, aren't you glad you didn't win? I don't even have an opinion of that. What I'm glad
I'm
about,
glad you didn't win, man.
Yeah, you
No,
can.
it's not a bad. Like I'm glad, my nigga. Like I'm
You feel me? 'Cause
I'm
you
so
like-
glad you didn't.
You feel me? Because dealing with a third world country is
Man,
not a joke. But
no.
keep in mind, Martin Luther King marched for legislation. And I
Yes.
promise you, Combat Jack, when he was doing this, he even said to himself, I ain't going to even see this.
Right.
But the next generation is going to see it. So,
It's the ultimate sacrifice.
so I had to
So
do
you was on that sacrifice.
Man, look.
You was on that sacrifice.
Not
man.
even in talk.
Right.
In actuality, I was in that sacrifice hoping now
Right.
there's a 12-year-old Wyclef that's watching this who eventually could be president and
Right,
change the country around.
So I'm moving all over the place, and that, and very well said, sir. Fugees, y'all blow. Like you become one of the biggest producers, one of the biggest artists on the planet. You're sitting on at least 25 million. Like around the age of 24, 25. What the fuck does that do from you came from Haiti eating fucking red dirt? And I want to get back to the recipe of red dirt before we end this.
Yeah.
But like now you're like a multi-millionaire. What the fuck does that do to you, my man? Most people blow
I
their
always
brains
tell
out.
people, man, if you waiting for me to be broke, you going to wait all your life.
Right.
Like, I can have debt and I'll turn the debt to cash.
Yeah.
That's just how I learn to operate.
Yeah.
How do I make $1 million by the time I'm 20 and I can't even speak English, come into this country? I just saw the idea of opportunity. And keep in mind, why didn't I go bonkers?
Yes.
When I went in the room, I saw the cocaine. I saw the lines of the cocaine, right? Like Hotel California,
Yes,
the
sir.
Eagles, right?
Yeah.
So what makes you go, man?
You ain't
Hold
never
up.
fuck with that yay, man?
Huh?
You ain't never
No.
fuck with that yay?
No, but think
Ever?
about it though. Huh?
Ever?
No.
Why
But
not?
think about this though.
Why not?
Think about this, right?
Why not?
Because I ain't fuck with the yay, right? Because the block that I'm from, I used to see what the yay would do to
Right.
people.
You saw what the Rock did, but not the yay.
So what the yay did to people,
Right.
the yay would move in the suburbs.
Okay, so when you're a supplier, it's a whole different perspective. Right?
So keep in mind, right? The author sees it from the third eye,
Yeah.
right? I can look out my window and I see a kid come into the community. And I'm like, this kid ain't no ordinary kid. What is he doing in our community, right? Now, at the end of the day, whether if it was yay, whether if it was crack, whether if it was pills, right? I couldn't fuck with yay because I just know the outcome. I seen prom queen turn to prom
Oh,
fiend.
that's a horrible thing, man.
Huh?
I've seen that too. That's a
Yeah,
horrible
so-
thing to see, man.
Yeah, so what? The Rock still plays part of it. So at the end of the day, I didn't fall for any of that because where I came from, it just made me tough.
Right.
Like coming from where we came from, we was like, yo, we came from the
That's the
dirt,
beginning
right?
of the end.
We was eating red dirt.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what was my mission? Get my mom out the projects, buy her a house. We used to be on welfare. So my whole focus game was just different than like, oh, let me just, let me celebrate and let me party till I'm out of my mind. You know what I mean? I partied, bro, till I was out of my mind. I was a drinker in my 20s. Boy, I drink any man under the table. You know what I mean?
challenge you.
I used to be a drinker.
Do you
I don't
still
drink like
I
that.
mean, you still have that in your DNA, though?
You see
I
how
mean, we
I'm nice,
Haitian, dude. Like,
but you see how I'm nice with
King,
you.
tell him.
Yeah.
Tell him.
But you see, I'm nice with you right
Yes,
now.
yes, yes,
I'm
yes,
like,
show the camera,
you know, you
bro.
gotta be like, yo, Clef is okay. So, but for me, the way that I kept it was, I would just say, I could always hear the voice of my freaking Caribbean parents in the background.
Yes, sir.
Just, they were loud as hell, like, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah. Best investment and worst investment.
Worst investment was investing in a television station in Haiti called Telemax. It's like, you know, you put a few millions out, but you got to live in the country. That's what I realized.
Right.
So being in the country.
Get the engineer to fix his mic, man.
So
Sorry.
being in the country, it would have made it a better investment. You know what I mean? So that was the worst investment for me.
Right.
Investing
But you
in the
didn't know.
television.
Like he just needs to. He just needs to.
I didn't know, but that still was the worst investment.
But you don't regret it because you went in wanting to do better with the infrastructure of your country. One of the best things in infrastructure in any country is strong media, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right.
And it cost me a pretty penny.
Right.
And in the process, I wasn't living in Haiti.
Right.
So that was the worst.
Sounds like, dude, as much as your heart has been in the right place, and I'm with you, man, like, it sounds like your attachment, your love, your loyalty to Haiti has been a gift and a curse. Yes or no?
That's right. It's like Sharon Stone in Casino. You feel me? Like, you know she's bad, right? But you gonna love her.
Chérie.
Yeah.
Haiti Chérie.
So that's been some of my worst investments.
Best investment. Young kid coming in the game today. He gets a couple of million. What's the best investment? Clef did that, so hopefully you could do that.
The best investment is this: your publishing catalog.
Yes.
It's important that you kids understand. When I was doing Killing Me Softly with the Fugees, and we blew up, the first thing in my head was like, I was like, holy shit, I just made somebody $40 to $50 million just on a publishing catalog.
Yes.
So I was like, yo,
this is not even my money. I just got paid to pay somebody
to
fucking dance this shit.
You're doing it over.
Yeah.
So I would say my best investment is investing in myself and understanding, yo, you gotta write these songs so that even when you're not here no longer, like your daughter, she could live on Maria Maria.
Yes.
She can live on Hips Don't Lie. Like, so if Khaled samples Maria Maria, Rihanna, that's still. So for me, I always tell kids,
it's been a good year for you, right?
Yeah. So it's been a great year for me. So the best investment in the game, right, for everyone that's listening, is producers really invest in yourself and be the brain, not just the talent. Be the brain.
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
You know, you're a philanthropist, man. You're involved in a lot of issues, man. One of the things that I heard that was most disturbing to me at the top of the year was when Trump went full ape on this Muslim ban. All of a sudden, I'm getting calls from like my aunties and my uncles talking about, yo, the ICE agents is like going heavy on Haitian immigrants. And I know you've been an advocate of that recently. Like I think up until
TPS,
up to 50,000 undocumented Haitians have been deported.
And I just got back from Canada too. Right. They have them in the dome in Canada.
Right.
Yeah,
like talk about how real that is, because a lot of people, I think, you know, and you know, I don't know how you feel. We'll get into this, but part of me is like, yo, this Muslim ban thing is what it is on its surface, but it's also like a distraction for that net to go out, because even before that thing, even when everybody was like, fuck the Muslim ban, Haitians were getting deported. Can we talk about that reality, man?
Okay, so a few things I learned in politics in the time that I went. One is called the temperature. The temperature basically is like when they feel the crowd out, and they're filling you out to try to get away with one thing, but they literally have like 7 or 8 policies that they're going to put in place based on how you react.
Yeah, it's not a one-trick pony.
That's right. So to the Muslim ban, I was like, no, hell no, we're not going for that, because we have Muslim brothers and sisters, same way we have Jewish brothers and sisters, Haitian brothers. Because to me, it was like, okay, at the end of the day, if you do a Muslim ban, next thing you're going to say is, you know what, that TPS law where I said that I was going to keep this amount of Haitians here, let's just send them back. So at the end of the day, it wasn't something that I supported, and it's never something that I'm going to support, because I am the child of an immigrant, you know.
Well, you are an immigrant. You are an immigrant.
You know what is so funny?
You are a fucking immigrant.
I'm coming here,
which is more amazing to me. I'm the child of an immigrant. You're a fucking immigrant.
I wish I had my goddamn green card on me right now. But I always have my green card.
You're a citizen, right?
That's right. But I have my no. I'm
ICE coming up in here.
Hey, ICE, yo.
No. ICE, listen.
Decisions.
ICE ain't gonna take Clef. ICE ain't taking Clef. Cause why?
You paid enough taxes, my dude.
I paid enough taxes, and I'm a permanent resident.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, though, I'm a green card holder. I am this dream. So when you say you're going to ship 800,000 people back, right?
Crazy.
You could have been shipping me back at the end of the day, right? Because if we was born right now, I could have been one of the kids basically getting shipped back right now. One of the I was a dreamer.
Right.
I came here. I was a straight up dreamer. So for me, at the end of the day, we haven't broken rules. So it's important.
No, as a matter of fact, it's the opposite. You've enhanced the culture of what this American fabric is.
But when we talk about America as a whole, and so I learned these constitutions. It said these United States of America. What makes us incredible is the fact that we immigrants. This is what makes America
Everybody's
sexy.
immigrant except the fucking natives, man. Shout out to everybody that's fucking suffered with that boot of fucking American colonialism. But like everybody's a fucking immigrant in this country.
That's right.
Everyone.
That's right, except the Indian.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, for me, you know, it's like, it's crazy because I just look at it like, what happens if I was born right now
God.
I was a dreamer?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
you'd be fucking shook.
All I would like the administration to
focus
understand.
on the guitar.
We wouldn't. When you sending back,
you know Fugees.
You might be sending the next Steve Jobs back.
Yes.
Right? You might be
the
next
for cancer.
The next cure for cancer. Because we all, as immigrants, we invest in our time and invest in our intellect to learn. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that is something that the Congress should definitely be considered.
Well, that's why a lot of these corporations are going ape shit about it, because they acknowledge that same reality.
Facts.
Like, you know, the economy. You know, new technologies. You know.
Now I understand when it comes to separating personal from professional, and you've had personal interaction with the president, but at the same time you've been really careful in terms of like condemning or like even saying let's be careful about what we say about Donald Trump. Like, what is your?
I've been overall be careful what you say about everybody.
But let's talk about like particularly with regard to this. Like you're saying, you know, at any given moment, like if you're creative, you're outspoken, you're living this American dream, at any moment you could fuck it up.
Yeah.
By talking against the powers that be right now.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm not for that.
Right.
Right. And
not
I say
for what?
I'm anybody who's abusive power, starting with Donald Trump on down to the Congress, I ain't for that.
So are we witnessing abusive power?
Of course, at times through executive orders.
I mean, come on, man. You grew up in the Papa and Baby Doc eras.
At times through executive order, you could feel like the pen is being pushed 100%. Yes.
9 months and he's written a whole gang of executive orders.
Once he got elected, I was like, he's not my president. But there's some of us that have been like, yo, let's give him a chance. And you're one of those people. Like, let's give him a chance. Why?
Well, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with Dave Chappelle because we can be here to agree
of course,
to
agree to disagree, right? Now, what did I say? I said that at the end of the day, right, when anything that we're against, we're going to talk about.
Right.
So, white supremacists, that idea, we ban that. We don't support that. And the idea of abusive power through any president, we ain't gonna go for that. What I said was a president's term is 4 years.
Yes, sir.
And what happens is if there was a blog on Donald Trump called The Clown Genius, right? So this is so important for people to understand. So in Roman times, what the Caesar would do is the Caesar knew the public loved games. So they would distract you in the arena. And the more that they distract you in the arena, the more that they would reign. So I just felt like I was saying, so it wasn't like I'm careful about what I said about Donald Trump. I said that y'all giving the dude too much props in the room. And while this is going on, like the art of war, there's a whole new war being built within the next 4 years. So as we worried about that, the president's already on his next fundraiser on how the Republican Party will continue for the next 4 years. So my thing was like, let's make sure that if you don't agree with something, march, do protests. And all I was saying, Jack, I was like, when the celebrities show up, man, I got to curse for a second. Just know what the fuck y'all talking about. Because the people that do the marches are basically risking their lives. And they love for us celebrities to show up. So when we show up, let's just make sure that we know the policies, because whatever we say, they're going to use for a soundbite and make a movie out of it. That's all I was saying.
Of course. How's married life, man?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
How do you maintain it? Like, how do you keep it so special, man? Like, you've been married since you were, like, in your early 20s, right?
That's right.
Like how, Sway?
Okay, this is Wyclef with Words of Wisdom.
Dr.
If you have
Wyclef
an
Jean.
album called The Carnival, you got to spice it up. You feel me? Honesty is very important.
Yeah, but honesty is also the most difficult thing we can do.
That's right, but it's important.
It's important,
so
but
think about this. I just want y'all to know this, right? So as men, right? Now y'all already know. Uncle Clef will be clear with y'all. All you got to do is Google my name and be like, who have Clef cheated on before in his life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day,
made
right?
one of the best albums of all time.
Right? At the end of the day,
Allegedly.
right? Past making these mistakes, I learned the biggest thing was whoever you're going to be with, make sure that the person is a friend first. And when I tell you that, because I watched my family and their relationships, and they got married quick, but the people they wasn't friends, right? What does friendship mean? Friendship mean like, yo, you human. That's the first factor
I can tell you
of
anything, and you will not fucking judge me.
You human, right?
Right.
So let's play a game after this interview. Now y'all gonna be like, oh man, Clef done got us broken up, right? So
I mean that
get with your spouse.
That's already there. So.
Get with your spouse and then sign an agreement.
Yeah.
Right? Play a game. Sign an agreement says, I am about to tell you a few things. You're not gonna judge me, and I'm not gonna judge you. So y'all both sign this paper.
Dope.
And then
It's a
y'all
contract.
play. Look, right?
It's a social
And-
construct.
Yeah. So, but it turns to fun, right?
Right.
Now it could turn brutal, but it starts off fun, right? So then you could be like, okay, these are the first three things, right? All that is, right?
So are you
is
allowing the other person to ask you, or you're just
both? It should be both verses.
You're sharing this information.
It should be vice versa.
Right.
At what point?
And keep in mind, and it's vice versa. From, like, I'm just saying right now, anyone who's listening to this right now.
Right.
So if you like, yo, man, I'm thinking about getting a relation
you
into
really
a
got to think
relationship.
about this though. Like, don't let the Combat Jack Sean Clef get you fucked up.
Yeah, but listen to what I'm saying though. Just be like, yo, I'm just saying. It's either you daring. Look, dude,
Dream
are
those
you
dreams.
daring? Are you daring or not?
Right.
I'm just trying to. You ask me. I'm just giving y'all the truth.
No, but
That- you feel me?
At what point? At what point are you signing this agreement to share?
Okay, this
in
is
the
in
beginning, or you already past go?
young blood. I would advise you to do it in the beginning.
The beginning is always the best time, though. Trust me.
Right. Because the
trust
beginning,
me.
you can, at the end of the day, though, I'm at a level where it's like at the end of the day, it's total respect for my wife. I got my daughter who's 12, but we've made mistakes. At the end of the day, I've made mistakes. And I always say behind a man is a rock. And at the end of the day, if I ain't had this woman with me, I probably wouldn't be here today. But I still want y'all to know, right? It's like, it's humans, right? Y'all humans. So I ain't gonna lie to y'all, brothers. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It's all about what truth you seek. When I go to Abu Dhabi and I go see my sheik friends,
It's a whole lot of different truths.
well, once again, they have 4 wives, right? But I'm there with my one wife.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, yo, where the other 4? You know, where's your
You got-
talking
you got-
to the
what's-
sheikh like, yo,
what's your
where's
stash,
I'm
my
like,
nigga?
yo, hold on. Hold on.
It's not about the shit.
But the sheikh even found that fascinating. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I say, truth is this: if you and your partner come up with some kind of agreement, but y'all come up with it, like, don't let anybody else be part of it. So at the end of the day, don't break whatever y'all say. Okay, we're gonna do as a pact.
Right.
Try your best not to.
That's a hell of a game, man.
So I could just tell you, you know, what works.
Yeah,
You
that's,
know.
that's a hell of a game, man.
But it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's everyone that's listening. What are you scared of, dog? What are you scared of? Right now?
Getting that hot pan on your head.
Yeah, but listen.
Like, that's a thing. Yeah, my nigga. What? Yo, the worst thing you can do. The worst thing you could do.
You ever got a hot?
No, I ducked it, but the worst thing you could do is tell your best friend, wife, lady, lover, the truth, and she's like, "Okay, my nigga, I'm going out for the next month, and I'm coming back with some truths, my nigga." Like yeah.
And they just start wailing on
And they'd be like, "Yeah, you know what?
I
You want some
got you.
truth?"
But
Tom,
once again,
Jamel,
Oh shit,
Malik,
bodies.
your
Yeah.
brother, like, yeah,
No,
I
no.
got bodies right now, my nigga.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're afraid of
Yeah.
the most. Fuck the pan. Fuck the drama, the
skeleton.
It's like
dog,
not the skeletons, not the skeletons, the fresh bodies in the freezer, my nigga. Like,
especially in this shit that we do, you only dating somebody that's in the industry, and you doing that shit, and she tell you, yo,
you know what?
Your peer,
you know what, Combat?
Your contemporary.
I fucked
like,
a
what?
king.
But once again, right? Once again.
What?
No.
My nigga, what did you say? Like sharp?
Yeah, your arm is tore up.
What'd you say?
Yo, once again, you're gonna test it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the miracles are we born, and that's a goddamn miracle. How we come to be, and when we leave the earth, it's also a miracle. People don't know where we return. That small time
And
in
who
the
you
middle.
return with?
Who you return with?
Yes.
Yo, so fam, the small time in the middle, all I could do is tell you, just try to live your life righteously, and the people that you with, just have fun with them.
Yes, sir.
Bottom line, because it's gonna be short.
Yes, sir.